and the Queen of the Turf. And the mares are set to dominate here today in Sydney. We're ready to go. The light is on. We're ready to run. Racing now on the Fernhill, and Lady Pankhurst and Tupacara jump well, but Spicy Lou, drawn the fence, is pushing through on the inside to hold the pair out. They're followed by Seriously Hot going to a clear fourth. Then came Polish Playgirl, Michelangelo, and Garrick's Parks on the outside. So Spicy Lou, this unbeaten filly, leads by 2 lengths. Lady Pankhurst is pulling away to second, and Tupacara switches off in third, pretty relaxed. 2 lengths further back then to Seriously Hot. In advance of Polish Playgirl, then came Michelangelo, and Garrick's is now a length off them last of all. Spicy Lou with the uncontested lead here for Rachel King. Out by 2 lengths on Lady Pankhurst, is really pulling in second spot. 2 off to Tupacara. Similar margin to Seriously Hot. Polish Playgirls 1 or 2 off the fence, with Garrick's improving along the rails and picking up several lengths at that point, Garrick's, and this has put Michelangelo all the way back to last, about 7 off the front runner. Spicy Lou travelling by 2 on Lady Pankhurst, then Tupacara. Garrick's now fourth, the rails from Seriously Hot, and the last 2, Polish Playgirl on the outside of Michelangelo, who'll have to ride for inside runs, but Spicy Lou still going well, coming around the turn. Spicy Lou by 2 on Lady Pankhurst, then Tupacara. Garrick's is pinching ground on the inside. Michelangelo being guided into the clear, and still well back is Polish Playgirl. Lady Pankhurst giving chase now to Spicy Lou. Spicy Lou a length and a half to Lady Pankhurst. Tupacara, then came Garrick's. All the other favourites are out of play. Spicy Lou keeps on going, and she remains unbeaten. 3 out of 3. Spicy Lou by 2 lengths. Tupacara grabs second eventually, just in front of Lady Pankhurst. A gap to Garrick's. Michelangelo took forever to wind up. Then came Seriously Hot, and Polish Playgirl hasn't been able to get past one runner in the straight.
Well, Nick Olive's gamble has paid off. From Cowra to Albury to the biggest stage of all Royal Randwick on day 2 of the championship. She's led all the way, Spicy Lou, but they gifted it to her. Rachel King in the saddle from barrier 1 has led all the way. Number 5, Spicy Lou, Nick Olive, and Rachel King is a listed winner of the Fernhill Mile, defeating Tupacara and Lady Pankhurst.
Yeah, well, a real on-pace affair there, and what a result for the owners. You know, a couple of bush wins, and now she's a stakes winner at a 3rd start in a race, and she seemed to be floating a little round the turn and seemed to get a bit lost, but she had a second wind about her, and off she goes and gets the money there, and like I said, a huge result for the stable there. Tupacara battles on okay, big effort, 3rd horse, 1,000 metres to a mile, and even the long shot who made his move early along the rails there has held on to 4th, and that is Garrick. So the back markers not in play whatsoever there. We'll have to just analyse the times and maybe they did get more of a rest than we thought there.
It was probably a better win than it looked, Ronnie, because down the straight there, she was a little bit lost too. She didn't know, obviously, where she was going. First time to Randwick, she was getting on one range. She was wanting to get out into the middle of the track, but she's obviously had something to follow in her previous 2 wins. But there today, out in front, she got a little bit lost, so I think the win was better than it looked.
OK, Nick Olive coming up. Well, Nick Olive, the gamble has paid off.
It sure has, Greg. Yeah, bloody thrilled. Thrilled for all the team back at home. We've got such a good team at home now, and just done such a good job with this horse. And you know, we've always thought she's had good ability, but you win 2 country races, it's a big step coming up to a stakes race, and but she stepped up and got the job done, and a fantastic ride from Rach.
So when did you think about this race? Was it sometime between Cowra and Albury or afterwards? Yeah,
Simon Denopoulos does a bit of work for me. He helps me out, and he said if it wins at Albury, you're going to the Fernhill. So I probably owe him for that.
And what about your theory coming into this race? Did you think she'd be the forgotten horse in this race?
Yeah, like just saying to Rach earlier, we thought that they might underestimate her, you know, and when she drew the one, get to the front, and she could just dictate. And we said, if you dictate and get going from the 600, if they've left you alone, she'll be hard to run down.
Gee, they did that. They left you alone. You were in isolation.
It was awesome.
Must be one of the great training thrills, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it is. You know, obviously single gaze was great, but this filly's sort of got a little bit of her about her. You know, she's just keep stepping up to the mark and getting the job done. And you know, she's 3 from 3 now, a stakes winner, and yeah, good stuff.
I won't ask what you're doing with her. What does Simon suggest you do with her next?
Yeah, well, you know what he suggests, but we'll let things play out, mate. That's a different gravy, and we'll see what happens in the next week.
You're not going to be here next week, are you?
Oh, we'll see, mate. We'll see. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, Rach. Still very new, but nice.
She is new, yeah. She still wasn't quite sure what to do in front, and even at about the 1,000 to the 800, she pricked her ears, and I think she was looking at the car actually driving around on the inside. She's not quite used to that at the country tracks, but she just kept improving, and that big stride just kept getting longer and longer, and she's done it in second gear. Like, I actually couldn't get after her properly because she was running sideways up the straight.
Well done.
Thank you.
Here is Fearless coming up, so ready for the second, the Bisley Workwear South Pacific Classic.
Ready to go in the South Pacific Classic. No strings attached, shooting for 4 in a row this prep. Racing now, and Yoshinobu left well. Fearless being sent forward, and Sergeant Major is right on the scene as well. Fearless presses on now from Sergeant Major. Yoshinobu, and now no strings attached, is slicing through the pack. Kanara's slicing through into a prominent role as well. Then came Pleasure Artist, Moorjute on the fence. Alabama State was there early doors, but taken back. On the outside of Duck Egg Blue, 2 off to Meridiana, and Interjection on the fence last of all. Fearless is still working on the outsides, trying to cross Sergeant Major, and no strings attached to half away on the outside, and Shin just took a hold, followed by Yoshinobu going forward. Kanara wider out. Then came Moorjute from Pleasure Artist in the middle of the ruck. A length to Alabama State. Duck Egg Blue Interjection. Meridiana's last about 7 off the lead, so Fearless hasn't been able to get to the fence, and it continues to roll on. Fearless from Sergeant Major being cuddled the inside. Yoshinobu's 3 wide and no strings attached in the middle of the ruck, followed then by Kanara with good cover as they straighten up. Fearless and Sergeant Major, Yoshinobu. Shin will be getting itchy fingers now, no strings attached, waiting for the run to open up. Here comes the filly Meridiana, letting loose with a big run on the outside as Sergeant Major went up to take the lead. Sergeant Major from no strings attached, Meridiana the outside. Sergeant Major still in front from no strings attached. Interjection late, but the Major's home. Sergeant Major went up by a half. Tight the Miners, no strings attached, and Interjection the outside. Duck Egg Blue ran on from Meridiana. Then came Moorjute from Alabama State. Kanara, Fearless did plenty of work, and Yoshinobu was one of the last in.
Sergeant Major, Ethan Brown and Kieran Maher have won the South Pacific Classic. Waiting for the Miners, no strings attached. Or Interjection, no strings attached. Same colours as the winner with a white cap, Blake Shin, and Interjection will come late with the red colours and the red blinkers. And when they hit the line, there won't be much between them. It is number 4, Sergeant Major first. Number 5, no strings attached, has got second, so the ownership group get the 1-2, and Interjection third. Fourth home, another photo. Might be Meridiana. It is. Meridiana's run fourth.
Yeah, really good win. You know, I don't like them when they're half length on the outside and they've got to keep kicking up on the inside. You think they're going to be vulnerable late, but he wasn't, because he had the big, strong, fast lead up, this horse, and that was the difference between first and second. With a 44-day break and maybe a little setback, the other horse was just Johnny on the spot and presented beautifully here today, and pays big odds, really, when you look at it. No strings attached. Obviously a nice horse. He'll be better for the run, and that might be something to bet on next start, that third horse, Interjection. If he gets to a mile, he's on the improved big time. But found his right race and delivered, Sergeant Major.
Yeah, I thought it was a terrific win, Ronnie, because it's 4 horse and jockey. It's a really hard position to ride when you're half, 3/4 of length back inside the actual leader. Horses aren't trained to do that, so to get up underneath and put him to the sword like he did, I thought it was a pretty big win.
At our provincial tracks to race here at Royal Randwick. Here's Luke Marlow.
Field ready. Provincial Midway Championship final. Gates crash back and they're off and racing, and Broadway Bouncer missed the start. Vintage Choice was the first into stride. Where's Lord of Biscay? He got away pretty well. He's pushing up into about 6th, just looking for a spot, but Vintage Choice will lead Mogul Monarch. Magneteer straight to third. Machalate fourth, enjoying a nice run early. Then Lord of Biscay, the outside of Impazender. Wide out was well timed as they settle down. Kind Words is in that bunch. Well timed, covering a lot of ground and drifting back. Going past him, French Ruler. He's 3 wide himself. Then Broadway Bouncer, Bojangles, Mahogany Girl, Wrapped Money Team, and Art Volant is last of all. Even Speed coming to the turn, set by Vintage Choice, 3/4 Mogul Monarch. Magneteer racing third. Machalate's had a gun trail at the 550s, poised in fourth, and Lord of Biscay's got his back. Favourites have each other in their sights as they come to the turn. Then Impazant pushing off the inside from French Ruler. Vintage Choice in the straight from Mogul Monarch. Lord of Biscay and Machalate are coming together, and Magneteer's gone back to the inside. It's Machalate hitting the front in the final. Lord of Biscay's trying to come and get him, but Machalate responding. 100 metres to go. Lord of Biscay tries to lift. It's Machalate a half, holding Lord of Biscay. Machalate's done it. Great training effort, Sarah Ryan. She got him back, and he's got the big final. Wins from Lord of Biscay. Third, there's a few there. Magneteer, Vintage Choice, Kind Words, Impazant, French Ruler, then Wrapped. Behind them, Broadway Bouncer, Mahogany Girl. Then came Bojangles, Art Volant, Well Timed, Money Team, and Mogul Monarch.
What a month it's been for Ash Morgan. He rode his first Group 1 winner on Private Harry on Golden Slipper Day in the Galaxy, and now he picks up another $1 million race. This time with Machalate for Sarah Ryan, who's got a Provincial Championships to go alongside her big dance.
Incredible, beautiful ride by Ash. He's really come of age and riding with such confidence. McDonald just said, okay, I won't go the fence. I know what I'm following here. And he had every possible to run him down, but class has prevailed there, and you've got a very good dividend to find out, and he gets the job done. So every hope. It was run to script, really. The two favourites singled out there and were too good. I think that was Impazant. Was that Impazant?
Yes, it's run third.
Charging into third spot there at any old price. So second and third for Chris, but good on you, Sarah. You've set him up beautifully and got the desired result.
Yeah, both Sarah and Ash. I'm wrapped for them both. I thought it was a terrific ride as well, Ronnie, where he positioned up and he just let the horse go through its gears and let it hit the top, probably about the 200 metre mark. And it's great to see Ash Morgan getting the opportunities and really making hay while the sun shines. It's great.
And they've run a bit quicker there again. In the previous race, the South Pacific, they ran 1:22.2. Well, that winner there, Machalate's run 1:21.72. We'll be back with more at Royal Randwick on day 2 of the championships. He's had such a long time off in paddocks.
He certainly has, and he's broken my heart more times than one. But we love him. I've always known he has ability, and for him to come and do that, it's just fantastic.
How have you been able to get him back into this sort of form?
It's honestly him. If he wasn't such an obliging animal, and he wants to be here and he wants to do that. A horse, they can lose confidence from a bleed, and they can lose confidence when they hurt themselves, but he wants to be here.
And this has been the plan, hasn't it, to get him to this race, and it's probably been in the pipeline for a long time.
It has, yeah. This is, as a provincial trainer, this is our championship, so to come out here and win it with a horse like him after so many issues is just fantastic.
And another big win for you here at Randwick. You've got a big dance, and now you've got a provincial championships.
I know, it's fantastic. I'm so proud of the team.
Yeah, and the team's growing, is it? Is it getting bigger?
Yeah, we're always looking to expand. It's a good team of people around us and a great team of horses.
And doesn't that Ash Morgan fit in well here in Sydney now?
He certainly does. He couldn't have written it better.
Great, well done.
Thank you.
And we're ready to run now. It's in the Percy Sykes. Stand by for a break. We're ready to go. And they're racing. No speed at all by Wood and Lass, and Sequester jumps sharply with Military Tycoon tempted handy out wide. Savvy Tycoon driving right along the rails, and Inkaruna gets into a terrific spot behind. Within the Laws going forward. So the favourite tempted scored 3 wide. McDonald just easing back a bit. She's dead set midfield now. Wood and Lass is pulling hard on the fence. Then came Memo, Pleasure Queen, Dream Side. Well back Alabama Charmer, and Recuperato is the last one. Sequester leads by about 3/4 3/4. Savvy Halley driving hard on the fence from Military Tycoon. Tempted out wide going forward. Moves to fourth now from Inkaruna. Within the law between runners. Then came Pleasure Queen. Over on the inside, Wooden Lass from Memo as they straighten up. Well, Sequester was pretty keen there to stay off the fence. Savvy Halley's got the inside run. Inkaruna goes right up the rails. Then Military Tycoon and Tempted popped the question on the outside, and Tempted is laying it down now to Sequester. Tempted, Sequester still fighting. Inkaruna's coming along the rails, but Tempted now ups the ante, draws away Tempted, and that's a nice win in the Percy Sykes. The minors, Savvy Halley, I think, a nose in front of Within the Law, and Sequester fourth, followed by Inkaruna, who got its chance. Further back, Pleasure Queen, then Military Tycoon. Military Tycoon behind them. Further back then to Memo, Alabama Charmer, and Dreamside was one of the last to finish.
Well, what a filly she is. What a filly. She's had 6 runs as a 2-year-old. Unlucky in a Blue Diamond. She bolted in the Riesling. Unlucky in the Slipper. And she had to do it tough here today, but she still beat them. Tempted has won the Star Percy Sykes. She goes out a winner. And I'm sure, Ronnie, she'll get a well-earned rest now.
Yeah, it was a brave call keeping her going, but they got a lovely dividend doing it. There's no doubt about it. He just kept a balance. Got caught a little wide, but he just got her into a rhythm, and he had the mini sights from a long way out, McDonald, and she was too good there. I thought Savvy Halley was fantastic. She just anchor dropped after the start there, and I don't know, because she had a 14-metre run under her belt. I thought she might have just kept striding out. Not that it would have made any difference. She's made it very close for second there Within the Law. I think she's run third, and she just keeps savaging the line. You keep following with Sequester. I thought she did a very, very good job at that level, being first up. So, all honest, the winner. She's a good filly and deserves a big win like that.
Deserved, Ronnie. She was tough. Simple. Just one word for it, tough. To sit 3 wide, no cover, 4 wide, then coming around the turn, still travelling the way that she did. She picked them up, I'm not going to say with ease, but she looked the winner a long way out, and that was a tough win.
And Brownie, I know they're only going around one turn, but still you're not getting cover. She might have had cover for a couple of 100 metres when she slotted in behind, but Sequestered was sort of rolling about a bit as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, does it, if you go around one turn or 2 turns or...
I reckon if he had a choice, he wouldn't want to be there. But I'm just saying, I thought it was a very tough win, because horses, when they don't get cover and they're sitting wide on the track, and to actually come around and travel the way that she did, they would normally lose the bridle when they entered the straight. But she travelled up like she still had plenty in reserve. And again, to win like that over, being 4 wide, it was a tough win.
Okay, it's a class record as well. A class record of 1922, 33.69 the run home. 1922, 33.69, 1 3/4 length. So there's the margin, 1 3/4 in the end, and a short head between second and third. If she got favours, imagine what the margin would have been. Great performance by this filly. Number 2, Tempted, James Cummings and James McDonald by Street Boss out of Calliope for Godolphin, beating number 7, Savvy Halley by Hellbent, Brad Widdop and Jay Ford, and number 1, Within the Law by Lucky Vega. Collett riding for Baker. Fourth home was 10, Alabama Charm. And here comes James Cummings. Well, what a great filly she is. She can go out a winner now after a couple of unlucky performances in big Group 1s, but the other 2 have been pretty sweet, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And look, she's an outstanding 2-year-old filly, and she got another opportunity to prove it in the championships here this afternoon. So I was most pleased that she got the chance to show that. And look, a lot more clear air than she faced 3 weeks ago. But that's great form. Golden Slipper form's great form, and she proved it despite the wide run, which we did feel on paper was inevitable. But we took our medicine as far as covering ground and facing the breeze goes, and gave Tempted the opportunity to show her class, and she did just that.
You'd have to be excited about the future.
Yeah, that's right. But look on her 2-year-old career, she's going to read very well too, and she's bred to be a good out of a very good 2-year-old. She's by Street Boss, another good example of what he's able to achieve with a young horse, and another good example of what my stable's been able to do. I'm very proud of our team, the stud farms, all the guys behind Tempted, who have been able to produce a horse that's strong enough and versatile enough to be maintaining this sort of gallop right the way through the preparation.
Well, it's been a 6-star preparation.
It has, yeah. And look, I suffered more interference this afternoon going through the crowd than she did when James had her in clear air, so I was pleased to see that.
How dare we? We're getting a hurry up from McDonald's. Can you believe that?
Well, you think he's got bigger fish to fry, but
yeah, he's got a big day ahead of him. Here he is.
Super effort for having no luck early, James.
Yeah, she's a good filly and ridden like the best one, and she was too good.
She looked the winner a long way out, though.
Yeah, she always felt it too. She paraded really well today with the earmuffs on, and credit to James and his team. He's kept her up, and he said he'll win today. Thanks.
Okay, a break and then an update on Doomben, and we'll be back here at Randwick shortly. Next up, the Arrowfield Sprint over 1,200 metres, another championship race, $1 million for the 3-year-olds.
Public Attention and Imperial Force. Bit of late money just in the last 30 seconds now. Imperial Force goes $5.
All in. Here's Darren.
Late of the market, but they're all over. Big Swinger and the gates are back now. They're off in the Arrowfield. And jumping well was Imperial Force looking for the lead in. Rich the outside and Jetta Setter right there. Followed by Public Attention, Private Life. The one that put a fortune on here, Big Swinger is back second, last 2 lengths away to Gatsby's. So Imperial Force is jogging in the lead. Josh Parr really put the brakes on it, and Enriched is happy with his spot on the outside, followed by Public Attention on the inside of Agenda Setter. 2 off to Private Life, a half the inside to Big Swinger, and 2 lengths away to Gatsby's last of all. So Imperial Force shooting for 3 in a row under a double grip from Parr, a half in front to Enriched, 2 off then to Public Attention, Agenda Setter, Private Life peeling 3 wide, Big Swinger in a tricky spot as they straighten up. Imperial Force still under double wraps from Enriched the outside. He says go now Imperial Force, and Enriched cruised up on the outside. 3 away to Private Life, Public Attention. Big Swinger's got it all to do. 5 off them as Enriched laying in a little bit. Straightened up by Berry. Enriched gets a half now to Imperial Force, who's fighting back. It's Enriched ahead in front and will win it. Enriched a neck on the line to Imperial Force. Public Attention flew home photo for third. Big Swinger really lifted very late, but too late. Then Private Life, Gatsby's, and last to finish was Agenda Setter.
Yeah, Big Swinger, big result for the bookies. They get everything wagered on the biggest plunge of the day, but it's Enriched, number 3. Tommy Berry, Michael Freedman. What price was Autumn Glow going to start? Probably $1.35. Well, Enriched was only beaten just under 2 lengths in the Derby Munro by who else than Autumn Glow, and he has benefited from the missing in action sign posted by Autumn Glow.
Yeah, big result. Fell into their lap here. He did have the right form lines. He was very fit. We thought it was the best Sydney form, and it turned out that way. And you got, pretty good price to find out as it turned out. He's gone really well. Imperial Force fought hard, made Enriched work for it, and they dominated the race. Once they slowed up, really Big Swinger couldn't win after a slow start, and giving that much start in a race like that. They get a little tired late when they went for home on the top of the straight, but they were always in control of this race, with Enriched providing a worthy winner.
They had to run 1-2, Ronnie. They've run home in 32.84.
There you go.
19.52, but an absolute sprint home in 32.84.
Like Ronnie said, the race was pretty much over down the back when Josh Parr and Tommy Berry took the speed right out of the race. So you could even see Damien Lane on the top weight Private Life get out and get going, trying to chase down the leaders. It was going to make it very difficult to come from behind when they're running times like that up front.
Yeah, the horse from just behind them in the box seat has run 3rd, Public Attention, and number 1 has run 4th, that is Private Life. 3-5, 2 and 1, 1:9.52 the race time, and a dash home in 32.84. Impossible for anything to run past the 2 horses in the top 2 positions. A neck by 3/4, 3-5, 2 and 1. So Enriched has now won a Fireball, and he's now won the Group 2 Arrowfield Sprint, and he's still a colt, and he's a colt by I'm Invincible out of Miss Adam Bomb. Number 3 Enriched. Imperial Force, a colt by Schnitzel, has run 2nd for Baker and Parr. And public attention, a colt by Written Tycoon Chad Schofield for the Price Kent yard. Waiting on Michael Freedman to join us, and Tommy Berry's about to go over the scales as well, Corey. He would have been giggling to himself there. As long as he had Josh Parr covered, he was on pretty good terms.
He was, yeah, he had a lap full of horse, and it was just a matter of when he was going to push the button, and that he did. Congratulations, Tommy. Nice win.
Yeah, he wins the race at the start all the time. He's just got that brilliant speed, and you can use that and ask him, knowing that as soon as you put the bit in his mouth, he just comes back to you and relaxes so well. So after a furlong, we'd had one cheap sectional. I thought he just can't get beat, and he made it a bit easy with the mare being out of it today, but he would have given her a run for her money. He might not have beat her. She's pretty special, but he's a good colt. He's very well bred, so that will go a long way.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
Okay, waiting on Michael Freedman to make his way up. That time again, 19:52.32.84 was the overall time. That'll bring us to race number 6. Still no action there at Doom, and although it has stopped raining, the Asahi Super Dry Australian Oaks coming up. Well done, Michael. Well, that was just a matter of whether you could beat Imperial Force, because the others weren't going to beat you.
Yeah, look, obviously coming into today, we were sort of wondering whether we were going to have enough improvement in us to beat the filly. So when she got scratched this morning, it opened the race up quite a bit. And Tommy and I had a good chat this morning about being positive from the gate, sitting either at leader's girth, which is what he ended up doing, or even I wouldn't have been opposed to him leading. Good turn of foot, that colt. He's a high-class horse, very well bred, so who knows, maybe he's got a future at stud somewhere.
Well, he sure has now. I mean, Fireball and now a Group 2 Arrowfield. I mean, an Arrowfield counts as a Group 1, really, on Championship Day.
Yeah, I'm probably being a bit biased saying it, but I think it does. It's one of those races that there's been some very good colts winning in the past that have gone to stud. Terrific result. There's such a great bunch of owners. Terry and Peter Board, who bred him and kept half of him when we bought him at the sales. David Wallace, who's been in the Congo and Wild Ruler, so he's not shy of being involved in a good colt. So I'm wrapped for the ownership group. They're a great bunch of people to train for.
I hope it's not over, but it caps off a great autumn, doesn't it? Great couple of weeks.
Oh, it's been amazing for the stable, and I know, in the heat of the moment, I sort of said after the slipper that, my staff are amazing. They do such a great job. For them, this sort of a win, as was the slipper, is as much about them as anything else, because they put in the hours. They're tireless in the commitment to the job. And they're not highly paid, but they do it for the love of it, and I'm very grateful for the job they do.
Pay them more.
And commemorative in the last. It's a unique situation with so many short prize favourites, and there's the light, and we're ready to run now in the Australian Oaks. The two favourites drawn 2 and 1, and they're off and racing now. And Sun and Sam was about the first out. Treasure the moment right there, like a Lucy holding a spot. Ella Hazel's going forward. Verona Rose jumped all right, but being snagged back, and Dubai Gold Rush is slicing through the pack. You Wang the fence, followed by Belle de Terre, and a couple off to Matrimonial. Sun and Sam takes the lead clearly now, turning out of the straight, zipped about 2 or 3 lengths in front. Ella Hazel strides to second, Treasure the Moment third. Now Yu Wang, they were vacating the fence there, so Yu Wang's gone through on the inside. Now pulling is Belle de Terre, and like a Lucy drawn barrier 1 is now 3 wide in the early stages of the Oaks, looking to slot in. They're followed then by Verona Rose down on the rails from Dubai Gold Rush, and 2 lengths away to Matrimonial last of all. So Sun and Sand 3 in front at the mile mark from Ella Hazel. Then Treasure the Moment going to third on the outside of Yu Wang. And Like a Lucy, McDonald got in now, and he's right on the coattails of the hot favourite Like a Lucy, the New Zealand Oaks winner. And here's a fun fact, she's a daughter of Derrin, who won the Arrowfield Sprint here some 8 years ago. And Like a Lucy right on the tails there of the short price favourite. Back third last in the race, Dubai Gold Rush from Verona Rose. And Matrimonial is the last one. 1,200 to go. Sun and Sand in front for Alicia Collett by a length and a half. To the big roughie of the field, Ella Hazel, followed by Yu Wang in third. A length for the back, Treasure the Moment, looking to capture the Oaks double. Then Belle de Tell has been a touch keen in the run, and she's midfield on the fence. 3/4 the outside like a Lucy. Then Verona Rose, Dubai Gold Rush, and the roughie Matrimonial last of all. So Sun and Sand at the 800 metres, no change to the order. Out by a length and a half to Ella Hazel, then Yu Wang. Treasure the Moment, brilliantly positioned, followed by Belle de Tell. And like a Lucy, now McDonald starts to rev her up a little bit, and she's peeling wider coming to the turn. Sun and Sand shows the way by a length and a half to Ella Hazel, Yu Wang. Now Treasure the Moment in the white cap is 4 out, and 5 out is like a Lucy, making a good strong run into the straight now. Sun and Sand shows the way by a length or so on Yu Wang. Treasure the Moment, like a Lucy. Ella Hazel is still there. 250 to go. Sun and Sand and Yu Wang. Treasure the Moment and like a Lucy. They're both starting to knuckle down now. In the centre, Treasure the Moment. She's really lifting. Sun and Sand in front, but Treasure the Moment captures the moment. Another big win, claiming the Oaks double. Treasure the Moment knocked off Sun and Sand, Yu Wang and like a Lucy. Then Belle de Tell. Further back, Verona Rose, Ella Hazel, Dubai Gold Rush, and Matrimonial.
Well, she's turned defeat into victory here today, because that was a very hard watch. Matt Laurie's heart, I'm watching him here now, his heart's beating at 100 miles an hour. He can breathe a sigh of relief, but that wasn't easy. Ronnie, they've never gone slower. They were flat out breaking 14s there for every 200 metres. They walked. It was a sprint home, and 2 roughies have given the top filly in the land a real fright.
Well, Alicia Collett would have thought all the Christmases had come at once there when left alone for so long, and she nearly pinched it. Yu Wang got up on the inside, and I thought they were both in trouble, but class prevailed the last little bit. And there's no such thing as a 2-horse race or a 1-horse race when you're looking worried about each other and forgetting about the horses up front. When it's a sprint home like that, you can get some funny results, but it come through at the finish. She just showed that touch of quality that she's got.
Yeah. 2, 6, 7 and 1. A long neck. 233.27, 33.93 the last 600 metres. Have we got time there, guys? Somehow we'll get to Matt Laurie. There he is now. Well, congratulations. I saw you tapping your heart there a couple of times when they hit the line. That was hard to watch.
It was, and, I was pretty nervous about today. I mean, small field, and, often they can be a bit kind of messy. It was sort of slow to watch. Didn't have a great deal of cover at times. Was on the wrong lead, and then they all came, off the turn, and, she was under siege, and we haven't seen that for a while, and to see her dig deep in the concluding stage is just incredible effort, and I couldn't be prouder of the horse and the team that have helped me get her to this point.
The adrenaline must have really kicked in then for you when she surged, when she really found that. It must have been deep down inside her.
Well, we have seen it before, not for a while. Early on in her career, she had to really fight back on the inside down at Sandown one day. So I knew she'd kept coming, and her work's just been incredible. The last month's been unbelievable. I'm not sure whether we'll be coming into this sort of distance range, anytime soon, but Damien will give us a good guide on that for the following preparation. But I'm obviously just a bit emotional about really the last few months.
You don't have to worry about the next prep. You can soak it all in and then worry about it later. But maybe she is a miler. Maybe 2,000 metres might see her out.
Well, I think certainly a race with a bit more pace on. That's when you have small fields. There's a likelihood that you're going to get sort of that lesser sort of pace. But I mean, she's got incredible heart. So yeah, it's a great story. I mean, I don't know how many horses have gone right through from winning the Wakeful through to winning today in the past, but I guess there wouldn't be too many of them.
Well, you're on a big streak now. That's 8, and everybody's counting.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, got full faith in the horse, and like you said, we'll enjoy this preparation and what she's achieved, and yeah, I'm sure she'll come back with a bang next time too.
Can you put this fortnight into perspective in your career? You've come up here with 2 horses and what they've done.
Yes, so you have a plan, and you know, you expect things to not quite go the way you dream. So, you know, to have it work out the way it has for us, just unbelievable. You know, not only with Treasure. I mean, we had 4 races mapped out for her to win. Every one of them's amazing, and you know, we did bring up Vinrock, thinking we had a very high class colt, but. Yeah, to land all 3 was, what do you say?
You go home happy.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Cheers.
Here's Corey.
Well done, Frosty. What a filly.
Yeah, she's a beauty. She's a pleasure to ride. She got me out a bit of a sticky spot there from the top of the straight. The leader really sprinted well. Probably give it a bit too much leeway and had a bit of ground to make up. So, yeah, she knuckled down when it counted, and just those real good special horses just find a way.
They looked like they had her on toast there at about the 200 metre mark, but that's when the class kicked in late.
Yeah, I was just hoping more than anything that was the case, and 100 to go she knuckled down, and when those were getting tired she just found the line.
Well done, bud.
Thank you.
Here for the Swept Sydney Cup. First leg of the quaddie with Jackpot today. Lostotchka goes in. Capacity field at 20, and the gates are back now, and they're off and racing. In the gold jacket, Hopeful jump well. Arapahoe's right there. Warmunga going forward, and Alalcance as well. Circle of Fire's in the action out wide, and Duke de Sessa's going right up the inside. And in the early stages, Duke's going to hold the lot of them out. From Arapahoe, Alalcance goes to third, 3 up. Warmunga 4 out. Followed by River of Stars poking through in the black cap on the outside of Hopeful. Circle of Fire's deeper out. Then Athabaskan in the middle of the pack there with the white cap, mostly clouded the outside. Valiant King's down on the fence. They're followed further back by Garrett Chico about midfield. To Janis, it's outside. Then Zardozi down on the rails. Right behind her is a rear from Age of Sail. Then Cleveland's up ahead of Tijanis in the run. Further back to Strathtay, Francesco Guardi, Lostotchka, and Waltham's last of all. Down to the post, and Clark's taking control of the race now to Alalcance. This allows River of Stars to stride up on the outside. It's Alalcance about a half in front to River of Stars. So she did a bit of work early there, Alalcance. Clark wants to give her a bit of a rest, and he'll put the Do Not Disturb sign on. River of Stars in second. Now Circle of Fire hasn't got the spot yet. It's caught wide. Duke de Sessa gets the prime position with the tail trail behind the favourite. Then Hopeful 3 back the fence, further back to Arapahoe. About 2 off to Valiant King. Racing out there, a Birdman, I should say, on the inside of Athabaskan. 2 further back to Zardozi, is tugging along on the fence from mostly cloudy the outside. They're followed further back by Zarir on the inside of Garrett Chico. A gap of about 2 lengths into Francesco Guardi as they head to the back. Further back then to Cleveland, to Janis, inching a little bit closer from Lostotchka, Age of Sail. Waltham and Strathday are the last 2, so they're really strung out down the back. And Alalcance in control by a length on River of Stars. Duke de Sessa in a very handy third right behind the favourite. Circle of Fire, last year's winner, gets the 1 out 1 back trail now, followed by Hopeful. Then came Warmunga, further back to Burpin on the inside of Arapahoe. 2 after Zardozi on the inside of Athabaskan as the race back to where they all started from. 900 metres to go. Back in the field is the rear from mostly cloudy Francesco Guardi, Gran Chico, to Janis under the pump out wide. Then Cleveland, Lostotchka, Age of Sail, Waltham and Strathday last about 20 off the lead. Athabaskan give it a bit more rain by Clark now at the 600 metres. She's a length in front from River of Stars, who've been revved up to give chase. Then Circle of Fire. Duke de Sessa slips slipping right along the rails from Athabaskan. Now the runs are starting out wide. Warmonger, mostly cloudy. Cleveland hooking right to the outside. So Alaucan swings in front from River of Stars. Alaucan, she might be gone. Yes, River of Stars and Arapaho have moved up. Athabaskan chimes in right down the outside as Cleveland with a good run, mostly cloudy, but Arapaho dashes clear. It's Arapaho 2-3 lengths in front of the Sydney Cup. Oh, Arapaho. Well, second crack at the Sydney Cup, and today's the day. Arapaho, a big winner. Waltham at big odds got up to run second. River of Stars third, then mostly cloudy Athabaskan. Further back to Garrett Chico. Birdman, Circle of Fires, Dozies, the rear. Cleveland, Strathday running on with some headway from Warmonger. Duke de Sessa dropped out. So did Alaucats. Further back to Hopeful, to Janis, Lostotska, Age of Sail, and Francesco Guardi was last in.
Congratulations, Trace. How good was he?
Oh, you can just see what this horse means to everyone. He's just been a superstar. He's won races we never thought he even should have been in at the start, and to do what he did today, look, I probably had as many doubts as everyone else about 32. I wasn't quite sure, but the one thing I always say to everyone is I've never ridden a horse so honest. He just tries.
600 metres from home, he looked the winner already.
I was bolting. I had to sort of count to 10 and just wait till I got to the top of the rise. He's got an awesome turn of foot for a stayer, and I knew if he got an economical run, which he did himself because he jumped super today and put himself in a beautiful spot. He went to sleep, and look, credit to Bjorn and his team. They had him perfect cherry ripe today. He couldn't have been any fitter and feeling any better.
Well done.
Thank you.
Bjorn Baker, here we are again, 7 days later, and it's the Sydney Cup to go with the Doncaster.
Yeah, very, very special, and I must say, Murray won it in 92. I asked Luke this, my assistant trainer, I said, what's the winner that Murray had in 92? And he said, I can't remember. He finally got it after I said my eagle, he got I. Right. And then his brother texted me this morning, that was the poster on our wall for 8 years growing up. So it's just amazing. I haven't got my good friends in this horse, I've got my family, so very special. We lost one of the part owners last year, Griffo. He's a legend, and what he did for Western Sydney and what he did for charities and what he did for rugby league, I'm never going to be able to replace that at all. He's an absolute champ, and just so much love to the family. We miss them.
This is a very special horse, Arapaho. He's a Tancred winner, and now you've stretched him out to 2 Mile, which maybe you thought he wouldn't be able to jump that bar.
Well, I argue we get a bit emotional about this horse at the stables. Yeah. We love him. And we gave him a bit of Murray Baker treatment on Thursday, and he relaxed beautifully.
What does that entail?
That entails just doing a solid piece of groundwork, and he's a sound horse. We know he's got acceleration, and that's where having a father that won everything but the Melbourne Cup comes into it. So so impressive and great ride today. Rachel King just held him up, and he exploded, which he can do.
Well, it's going to be hard to top this week in racing for Bjorn Baker, the newly minted Australian.
I might be Japanese. They race for pretty good money soon, but I love it. I'm lucky. I'm the luckiest man in the world, and I'm just lucky to train good horses that are fit, healthy and well.
All right. How will Steffi run later today?
It's hard. You've got 2 champion mares there. She's got a great gait, though. She'll be able to put herself there. And she's come through the race in a remarkable order. So it's been a magic day already.
Good luck. Well done.
Thank you.
In the hands of regular rider Chad Schofield. So they're locked and loaded. The favourite drawn, Barrier 1 via Sistina. Stand by. Off here on the Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth Stakes. Faulkner Park jumped well with Tom Kidd and Lindemann, and Geoglyph's pretty handy. Now, Deny Knowledge is a few lengths off the lead. Wider Outline Infantryman and Via Sistina about midfield. Dibayana bursting through the pack, improving together with Vauban. Roshan Park's back but in a wide position from Middle Earth, and Chaya Wolf's been snagged back to last. Lindemann got to the front and is going to hand up now. Deny Knowledge, it's her duty to lead them up, the year-long mare, and Deny Knowledge strides to the front by 2 lengths on Light Infantryman. Lindemann was happy to take the sit in third, 2 lengths away to Geoglyph, a lot handier in the run. On the inside of Tom Kiddner, 2 lengths further back to Dibayana, who's just shading Buckaroo and Via Sistina, almost in the second half of the field there in the white cap. The Japanese stallion Rusham Park the outside and the red cap, followed then by Faulkner Park, Middle Earth, Vauban second last, and 2 lengths away to Chaya Wolf, about a dozen lengths off the lead. So Deny Knowledge keeps the gallop good in the lead, out by 2.5 on Light Infantryman. Then Lindemann in a very handy third, 2 to Tom Kidden, who's just tugging along at this point. Geoglyph there on the fence from Dibayana camp right behind them. Further back to Buckaroo, Via Sistina on the fence, Rusham Park on a 3-wide path as they come up to the 600 metres now. And Deny Knowledge the front runner, but Lindemann comes off the fence, and Nash is going to challenge a long way out. It's Deny Knowledge being joined by Lindemann coming around the turn, who takes the lead. Then Tom Kidden, Dibayana's winding up on the outside from Light Infantryman, and now Via Sistina. She's looking for the runs behind them. She'll have to go back to the inside. Lindemann takes the lead to the 200, but here comes Via Sistina. She's slicing through the pack. Dibayana and Chaya Wolf down the outside, but Via Sistina takes the lead inside the 100. She's drawn clear from Dibayana and Tom Kidden, and Via Sistina equals the record of the Great Winks with 7 Group 1s in a season. What an emphatic victory there in the Queen Elizabeth, beating Dibayana and Tom Kidden. Then Lindemann, Roshan Park led on the scene from Chaya Wolf, then Middle Earth, a gap further back to Faulkner Park from Buckaroo, Light Infantryman, Vauban, Deny Knowledge dropping out, and Geoglyph was last in.
This incredible mare has done it again, Via Sistina, after what was heartbreak last year when they all missed the boat behind Pride of Jenny. Via Sistina finally claims her Queen Elizabeth.
Keeps turning up every week. You'd like to have a few more like her. And we've got a great team, but she just shows that the difference between a good horse and a champion. So,
what were you thinking in the run?
I'm thinking that we were saving ground. It was an economical run, and we had the right man aboard. James has continued to mature and not panic, and that's the key to winning these big races. The big jockeys win them all the time, and to have one of them on your horse's back, it's a big plus for your team.
What about when she saw a bit of daylight, when he eventually weaved through and hit that gap? It's quite dynamic. Yeah,
it was good to see. She's a big horse, and she's quite scary, really, because we don't ask her too much at home. We just hold it together and know that it's their race day. And so, you are looking for them to sprint, and when she sprinted, acceleration was there.
She's uncomparable to any other horse you've had because you got her during her career. You got her from overseas, but it feels like she's gone to another level.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we're still getting to know her. It's as simple as that, and she's well into her twilight years, but it's scary, really, how good she is.
Fascinating 12 months, really.
It has been.
That's all it's been, 12 months.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and she missed the race last year with we just miscalculated. And full credit to Pride of Jenny and Declan Bates and Kieran, they won the race. They pulled our pants down.
Does that make up for it?
Yeah, it does.
You've been waiting 12 months for that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a tough day that day, but hey, I shouldn't be crying.
In goes Lazura. Let's go to Darren.
The end in the Queen Elizabeth. Here we go for the last Group 1, the Queen of the Turf. Racing now and jumping quite well with Steffi Magnetica. Sounds of heaven there. Curvalant is pushing forward. Now Lazura's being sent forward out wide. Curvalant takes hold. Steffi Parks behind them. Steffi Magnetica. Then came Amelia's Jewel. They're followed then by Tissue down on the rails from another Prophet who's caught a little bit deep. lead. They're followed by Our Gold Hope. Now Fangirl settles second last and the 2 lengths away to Lekvard at the rear of the field. Grinzinger Bell speeds across, takes the lead now in the hands of Declan Bates and Lazura. There'll be no hard luck stories today. Lazura's up running a clear second. Quickster gets up the fence third. Sounds of Heaven Park one out, one back. Then Steffi Magnetica a touch keen on the inside of Coup Valont. They're followed by another Profit in the middle. Amelia's Jeweller Tissue down on the rails. From Our Gold Hope, the hot favourite Fangirl second last. Lekvard about 9 off the lead last of all. Grinzinger Bell in front by a length and a half. To Lazura, then Quick Star from Sounds of Heaven. Steffi Magnetica railing into fifth from Coup Valont. Another Profit's out wide. A gap of 2 further back to Amelia's Jewel. Our Gold Hope a Tissue. Fangirl is back second last and Mac will have to pull off a pearler of a ride again. Into the straight, Grinzinger Bell shows the way by length on Lazura. Quick Star. Fangirl and a Tissue going right up the inside. It's Lazura in front, 200 metres to go. Fangirl is roping her in. A Tissue as well, and Steffi Magnetica is late on the scene on the outside, but Fangirl takes the lead. Fangirl from a Tissue, Steffi Magnetica. Fangirl takes out the Queen of the Turf, beating a Tissue and Steffi Magnetica. They gap the rest. Lazura fourth, followed then by Amelia's Jewel, Grinzinger Bell, Curva, Our Gold Hope, Lekvard. Further back, Sounds of Heaven, another Profit, Quick Star. Doesn't James McDonald make it look so easy?
Well, he's done it again, McDonald, and he's done it for Waller. Fangirl is now a $10 million earner, isn't she? If she's not, she's gone awfully close.
Mac, we've always said she run into Animo that many times, but now she's the queen.
How's Tim Ryan?
Yeah. He's not, the Tab might be.
Yeah, exactly. He still gets his paycheck. She's a great mare. She's love it a bit. She just ridden a bit quieter today than what we did last start. Tried to win last start and she ran well, but back to mare's great. It was looking pretty good, wasn't it?
When it's run to suit, she's got an explosive turn of foot.
She's quick. She's got a lethal 400, but not 405.
What was your thoughts when you were buried away, though?
No, well, I thought I'd be there because last time we drove her up, and today I wasn't going to do that. And so I was always going to be curled up somewhere, and I was just going to have to pray that it opened up, but sometimes when you just let it happen, or before trying to make it happen, it can be in your favour. But I actually went out there with the mindset she was a 10-1 chance, and ride her like that.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
And there she is, the big girl, to the outside gate. Here's Darren.
Day 2 of the championships. Next week, the All-Age Stakes in the Champagne. Racing now on the last, and Q's likely jump well together with Skirt the Lure on the outside. Lady Laguna is going to settle pretty handy on the inside, going to third from Tashi, then Tis Invincible. Now Commemorative has been taken back from the wide draw. Lencia improves. Unique Ambition back now from Infancy. Coco Jambu and Zasu's last of all. So Commemorative, the favourite, is in about a 3-wide position. Fifth last in the early stages. Q's likely takes the front. Out by a length and a half, Skirt the Law. Lady Laguna well positioned. Then Tis Invincible, Tashi and Commemorative creeping closer right off the track. Alencia with an economical run on the fence. 2 lengths to Coco Jambu, Unique Ambition, Infancy and Zasu's last of all. Q's likely turns the corner in the last from Skirt the Law. Lady Laguna takes the inside run. Then Tashi, and now Commemorative. She's starting to hit top gear. She's been wide, but James McDonald said, "Come on, girl." She moved up to join Lady Laguna. Tashi between them. Infancy on the outside. It's Commemorative. Lady Laguna. Infancy's closing in hard. It's Commemorative tackled by Infancy. Infancy's from well back. Beat Commemorative and Lady Laguna. Then Tashi, Coco Jambu rattling home. Zasu not too far away from Alencia. A gap then to Tis Invincible. Further back to Q's likely in the last 2. Unique Ambition and Skirt the Law.
It'll be Infancy getting up here for Jason Collett and Chris Lees, 26.10 and 6.20 on the World Pool. And well, SP around $19. Infancy wins first up today. She's come here relatively confident with her?
Look, she's a back marker, Greg, so you never go in with great confidence. I was confident she was at her best, which she'd need to be against this field. Got a lovely ride from Jason. He got it right in the first half and was able to peel off and give us some clear air. and she done the rest. But she's got a really good Randwick record. She's a back marker, so if you go through a form, there's a few hard luck stories amongst it, but she had the luck today.
Well, she's valuable now. She's got a listed Fireball and a Group 2 Sapphire.
Yeah, no, she's a handy man. She's got a bit more racing, so yeah, onwards and upwards.
Where are you going next? Is it Hawkesbury? Is it Scone? What's on the agenda?
Yeah, we're looking at all them options, but she does like a run space, so we'll let her have an easy week and then we'll decide.
Did you think you were going to win the Oaks today?
I didn't driving down, and I said...
What about at the 200?
I said to Willow before the race, just ride her to run third. Unfortunately, he listened to me, but she ran super, and we got a good cheer and the connection to ecstatic. You know, she's come from I think she started off in a Class 1 at Scone about 3 or 4 runs back, and she's ran a third in Oaks.
Amazing. Well done today.
Cheers, thank you.
Chris Lees with the last winner.